Ringo Starr's story is one of resilience, quiet strength, and an unassuming spirit that helped shape one of the most influential bands in music history. From his difficult childhood in Liverpool to the dizzying heights of global fame, his journey reflects perseverance against the odds. Often seen as the steady heartbeat of the Beatles, Ringo brought more than rhythm. He brought balance during times of tension. In later years, reflections on the band's final days and internal struggles have added new layers to a story long surrounded by speculation, inviting a deeper look into the man behind the drums. A fragile beginning when Richard Starkey on July 7, 1940 in Liverpool's working-class Dingle neighborhood. Ringo's early years were marked by instability. His parents, once lively and social, struggled to maintain their relationship after his birth. Their separation left his mother to raise him alone, creating a life defined by modest means and emotional strain. The absence of his father lingered quietly in the background, shaping Ringo's sense of independence. Despite these challenges, his mother's care remained a constant, offering him warmth and protection in an otherwise uncertain environment filled with hardship, illness, and isolation. At just 6 years old, Ringo faced a life-threatening medical crisis following complications from an appendectomy. Diagnosed with peritonitis, he spent nearly a year recovering in the hospital, separated from family and friends. This prolonged isolation disrupted his education and left him feeling disconnected from the world outside. The experience, however, planted the seeds of resilience. Confined to a hospital bed, he began finding ways to cope with loneliness. Though physically weak, his imagination and curiosity grew stronger, quietly shaping the determination that would define his future path. Discovering rhythm. It was during his recovery that Ringo first encountered the power of rhythm. Hospital staff encouraged children to engage in music as a form of therapy, and he quickly gravitated toward percussion. Using improvised drumsticks and everyday objects, he began tapping out beats that gave him a sense of control and comfort. Music became more than entertainment. It became an escape. This simple discovery marked a turning point, transforming idle moments into creative expression. Without formal training or instruments, he nurtured a natural sense of timing that would later become his signature style. Another setback. Just as life seemed to stabilize, Ringo faced another major health challenge. At 13, he was diagnosed with tuberculosis and spent 2 years in a sanatorium. Once again removed from normal life, he endured long stretches of recovery. Yet this period reinforced his connection to music. With limited distractions, he immersed himself further in drumming, refining his rhythm through repetition and instinct. These years, though difficult, deepened his patience and mental toughness. While others moved forward with school and careers, Ringo quietly built a foundation rooted in persistence and creativity. Life beyond school. By the time he returned home, traditional education no longer held appeal. He struggled academically and chose not to pursue further schooling. Instead, he explored various jobs, from railway work to waiting tables, searching for direction. None of these roles satisfied him, but they provided glimpses into everyday life and responsibility. His stepfather, Harry Graves, introduced him to big band music, expanding his musical exposure. This influence proved meaningful, reinforcing his growing passion. Even in uncertain circumstances, rhythm remained his constant companion, guiding him toward a path that had yet to fully reveal itself. Early musical steps. Ringo's love for music eventually led him into Liverpool's emerging skiffle scene. During breaks from his machinist apprenticeship, he and friend Roy Trafford would visit a local club, experimenting with makeshift instruments. These informal sessions evolved into early band experiences, including a group that later became known as Eddie Clayton and the Clayton Squares. Though modest in scope, these beginnings provided valuable experience performing and collaborating. Ringo developed his unique drumming style, simple, steady, and effective, earning respect among local musicians and gradually building confidence in his abilities. Rising through the scene. As Liverpool's music culture grew, Ringo became increasingly involved in its vibrant club circuit. He gained recognition for his reliability and easygoing personality, traits that made him a sought-after drummer. Unlike more flamboyant performers, he focused on supporting the music rather than dominating it. This approach set him apart and made him an ideal band member. Over time, his reputation reached larger acts, opening doors to new opportunities. Each performance strengthened his presence, bringing him closer to the breakthrough that would ultimately change his life forever. Joining something bigger. When Ringo eventually joined the Beatles, he entered a group already gaining momentum. His steady drumming and calm demeanor quickly proved essential. While creative tensions sometimes arose among band members, Ringo often acted as a stabilizing force. He wasn't the loudest voice, but his presence helped maintain cohesion during challenging moments. His humor and humility balanced stronger personalities, making him an integral part of the group's dynamic. As fame intensified, his role became even more important, quietly anchoring the band through both triumphs and growing internal strain. The final days, the later years of the Beatles were marked by creative differences and personal conflicts. As individual ambitions grew, unity became harder to sustain. Ringo, often caught in the middle, observed these tensions with a grounded perspective. Stories from that period describe disagreements, emotional distance, and the gradual unraveling of collaboration. While many factors contributed to the breakup, reflections from those involved highlight how complex and multifaceted the situation truly was. Ringo's recollections emphasize not blame, but the reality of four individuals evolving in different directions under immense pressure. Reflection and legacy. In reflecting on the past, Ringo has offered insights that continue to shape how fans understand the band's history. Rather than focusing solely on conflict, he often highlights friendship, shared experiences, and the extraordinary journey they undertook together. His perspective reminds us that behind the headlines and speculation were real relationships, tested by fame and time. Today, his legacy extends beyond drumming. He represents resilience, humility, and the quiet strength that helps sustain one of music's greatest collaborations. Conclusion. Ringo Starr's life story is a powerful reminder that greatness often emerges from unlikely beginnings. From illness and hardship to global recognition, his journey reflects determination and authenticity. As the heartbeat of a legendary band, he contributed not just rhythm, but stability and humanity. The reflections on the Beatles' final days add depth to an already remarkable narrative, encouraging a more nuanced understanding of their legacy. Through it all, Ringo remains a symbol of perseverance, proof that even in the face of adversity, passion and resilience can create something truly timeless.